don't talk anymore. Like we used to. Like we used to.
Episode 6, baby. And we is live coming to you again. Damn, we've been knocking out these episodes.
Knocking them out.
And episode 6, the podcast in the dungeon, the gym freak.
It's nice and cool in here today, too.
Thank God.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Lord.
Last time it was like 110 degrees in here. We were sweating. It was like a sauna session in here.
We were wiping them.
Yeah, you were wiping. I didn't have a towel.
We got my favorite guest, my favorite human at the moment. I love this person.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I love you too, love it. I love you too. But we got Rachel, M3Therapy. How you doing, girl?
Good. How's it going, guys?
A moment of silence for them braids, girl. You look fire.
Oh.
Shout out to my girl out there. She be hooking me up. Gotta keep me going while I'm busy, so it's all right.
What's going on?
Good day. It's a good day.
Yeah.
How are you?
Doing good.
Good?
Doing good, yeah.
Yeah.
Got an early start today. Heard you were coming in, so I slept like shit. Made sure that I was aching.
People tend to do that
Yeah.
often. They know they're gonna screw themselves up, so that's when they bring me along.
Right, hell yeah.
Got a heavy lift. That's when he calls me like, hey, listen, you gotta come see me this day.
You gotta come fix me.
Right, before I gotta hit 800 next week.
Yeah, she's the best, bro. Since I met her, no back pain, no nothing.
I know you've been telling me. Telling me you're like
I
a
love
completely new person because of it.
I'll never stop doing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see why you would.
I don't think they know what we're talking about, so we're gonna dive in.
You gotta explain it.
Yeah, letting them know. So let's dive in. Let's start with your history. You didn't start as a massage therapist. You were a boxing coach.
Yeah, I definitely was not a massage therapist. It actually honestly wasn't even in my mind of doing at all. I moved out here. I'm originally from Saginaw. Moved out here 5 years ago. And I was personal training, boxing instructor, assistant general manager at gyms, and that was kind of always the field I wanted to go into. Big into fitness, always been an athlete my whole life. And I've always wanted to have my own gym, but obviously, younger, I wasn't going to happen right away. So, started working at gyms, and it's just like a revolving door, going into studios, working with clients. It's like you don't like the owner or you don't like what's going on. So it's just like you go to one after another, after another, after another. Finally, turned about 26. I was like, I need a career. I need something that's going to push me to doing something rather than going from here to there to here to there. So I stopped personal training, actually started working at a physical therapy office as just like a tech, because I always knew I wanted to do some type of rehab. I wanted to be with athletes. That's just what I do. I've been a coach, so I knew I wanted to stay in that realm. So I was like, oh cool, maybe I'll be a physical therapist. Looked into how much schooling, I was like, I'm not going to be a physical therapist. School is just not my thing. It has never been my thing. And so that's kind of where massage therapy came in. Is honestly, like I said, it kind of never was in my mind. But when I was younger, my mom got migraines really bad. So I would always rub her shoulders. She always asked me to do it for some reason. She's like, you're really good at this. This is what you're going to do when you get older. And wow. I was just like, and of course, I was young, I don't know, whatever, 12, something like that. And I was like, whatever, I don't even know that that's a career or anything. So as she said that, I really, kind of started look into a school, found one that's actually like a nationally ranked accredited school out here in Southfield. Went in for a tour that day, had no intentions in signing up, just wanted to see what it was about. And so talked with the lady, and that day I signed up for school, and next thing you know,
history was made.
Here I am, yeah. So I went into school. I knew I wanted to do sports. I knew I wanted to be with athletes. So she was like, oh, do you have you ever had thought about it? I was like, nope, but I want to work with athletes. Plain and simple. Like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rehab people. I'm going to help them so they can continue to, work as hard as they want to. And I'm just there to help them. So, yeah.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing it now?
So I just hit my year. I finished school in last June. Passed my licensing exam in May. I got my first office I started working out of in Detroit in late June, early July. So I've been working with people for about a year. I just recently took it full time 3 months ago now.
Wow.
Yep.
Huh.
So,
I bet that was exciting.
It was exciting and very scary.
Hell yeah.
I had, for the longest time, I kept telling myself, I was like, oh, I'm gonna take the leap of faith. I'm gonna leave my full-time job. But I was still too scared because, it's scary to leave a full-time job that's consistent money coming in to doing something where I solely am promoting myself, my business, making my own money. So I kept telling myself, like, I'm going to tell my boss I need to take time, cut my hours down because I was getting busier, but I just never did. So quarantine happened, blessings happened throughout quarantine. Honestly, it was as crazy as some things happened through it, a lot of good things happened for me. So I fully took it full time from there, and kind of it's been blowing up since then, which I am beyond grateful and blessed for where I'm at in just a year of doing this.
So you just answered my next question, which was going to be, how did quarantine? Because we were supposed to get something going, and then new client thing, this happened. It was like a lot of shit came up for me too. Yeah. These 3 months have been busy as fuck for me. So quarantine ended up helping you, you're saying?
It did. It really did. Because honestly, I feel like it made you realize a lot of things about people you didn't know before, or showed up,
For sure.
And so with my employer, it just, it really threw me off. There was just some things I wasn't liking about it, and it was just, it was about that time. But quarantine kind of sucked at the beginning as well, because I actually was at the Arnold, this past Arnold, I guess. I was a massage therapist for the pros, strong men and women. And so I got back, and that was like the heightening in Michigan, basically, when all the cases kind of started coming up. So that's kind of when I ended up I took a month and a half off of seeing clients, just because I didn't want to risk anything. I was around people from many different countries, working on so many different people, that I was just like, let me just take a break. I don't want to do anything. I don't want any other massage therapist seeing that I'm still practicing and bashing on me. So took that month and a half off. I did a lot more learning, trying to figure out different ways that I could help people when I couldn't see them. So I did a couple virtual stretch sessions, just kind of showing people how to do different releases.
You're good.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So it definitely made me figure out how to be more than just one-dimensional, basically.
But no, that's awesome, because what were you doing prior? Like, where were you working?
So I was a office manager at a physical therapy office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was my full-time job that I was doing, and then massage was always
kind of the side hustle.
Part-time, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did you come about being the massage therapist for the Arnold?
So it actually, a lady, so it's kind of a funny story. So when I first got into school, probably halfway in, probably 5-6 months into school, as I once again knew I wanted to be a sports massage therapist, I reached out to pretty much every sports massage therapist I could find in Metro Detroit area. I did everything I could. I messaged them like, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to be like you. I want to see the type of clients that you see. What do I do? Tell me what I need to do. What type of classes do I need to take? Everything like that. And so I reached out to this one lady in particular. She kind of pushed me towards another person as well that I kind of reached out to, chatted with them. I pretty much just tried to absorb as much information from them as possible. So, go a couple months later, I finished school, still chatted with this massage therapist. She's been doing, I want to say, 10 plus years. She's worked with Lions players. She's been with Strongman Corporation, I want to say 4 or 5 years, somewhere around there. And she's been at the Arnold for the past couple years. And so she had been seeing the growth I've made on my Instagram, the people I've been seeing, just my hustle, basically. She's seen my grind. And she reached out to me, and actually I was getting worked on by her, and she was like, so this is just random, but would you ever be interested in going to the Arnold and working on the athletes there? And I was just like, absolutely, yes, yeah. Please. And so she didn't formally ask me, obviously, but she threw it out in the air. And I was like, man, this is sitting in the back of my head for the longest. Had to DM her real quick, just throw it out there again, like, hey, just checking in, see if you still needed anybody to go with you. And this was kind of in the midst of, were they going to cancel the Arnold? Were they still going to allow it to happen?
Right.
So she was like, I don't know, like, I'm still waiting. And so then finally, she just reached out to me after they finally decided to still allow the athletes to participate. She was like, hey, it's a go. Like, are you in? I was like, absolutely. Count me in. Like, that was one of the biggest, I'd say career turners for me, because I was able to wake up 3 days in a row and do what I love to do. It really made me realize that I don't want to work for other people. This is what I love to do. This is my passion, and I want to continue doing it. I'm going to do what I got to do to keep up with it, type thing. But yeah, so that's kind of how it planned out. It's actually a massage therapist I see still. She's one, she works on me. And she saw my passion. She saw my motivation. She saw my grind, and she gave me an amazing opportunity that I'll forever be grateful for and thankful for her for asking me to go, especially, first year and being
And who was that?
Becky.
Okay.
She's out of Sage Therapeutics in Plymouth.
Oh, okay. I follow her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She works on a lot of athletes, a lot of strongmen, a lot of different type of athletes too. And she's one of the people. And there's another lady in Plymouth as well, Corinne. I like to call them like my mentors. Those are the two sports massage therapists I reached out to, and I was like, what do I need to do?
Right.
Tell me where to go. Tell me what to do. Show me what to do. I got it. Like, anything you need, I'm absorbing right now.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Though.
That is dope.
You had to be willing to learn, and that's probably why they were, able or wanting to help too, because you weren't just asking.
Right.
You weren't like, hey, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
You're more so like, where do I go? What do I have to? What classes? This, that, and the other. They knew you were serious, because
Yeah.
I know that one always hurts me.
You gotta put that wall down, man.
Hey, bro,
At some
how'd you get
point.
your arm so big? And it's like, bro, like, the fuck do you mean?
I thought he was really talking to me.
I know.
Like,
No, your arms
I
are
know.
small.
What is he trying to say right now?
No. You get that guy that's
Yeah.
asking, or somebody that's asking like that, and it's like, you're gonna get less effort from me too if you don't ask properly, or with
Sure.
some
Or
respect.
if you don't show that you're really trying to
Yeah.
go. Like, anybody can go and ask a question, but like, are you truly trying to
I agree.
change?
And when
I agree.
when you work for yourself, it's hard. A lot of people don't understand that you have to have self accountability, and you reaching out again, like, hey, just double checking.
Just to let you know, I'm
Yeah.
I'm over
Like,
here. Yeah.
some people don't take that chance.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's cool as fuck to know that you had a steady job and you made that leap of faith still. That's
Because
A lot of
it's-
people, I'm sorry to cut you off,
go ahead.
don't understand how hard it is to be your own boss, because now you got to be accountable for your own action, your own time, your sleep schedule, how much effort you put into something. People want to all have like their own business, and they want
Yeah.
to do their own thing, but it's not made for everybody.
No.
Because it's super hard.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing is what I'm now learning. I tell you every single time to slap me for taking on new clients, but it's very hard, because once you see it, and it being something you love to do, and when you get so many people reaching out and constantly reaching out and like, hey, can you get me in? Hey, can you get me in? You do everything you can to get those people in, because it's just you. It's like you want them to stay, especially being a new business. I built my own clientele myself the whole time, right out of school, which is the hardest thing to do. I started
sure.
off seeing 5 clients a week. Now I'm up to
You don't have to say.
Yeah, I'm up to about 23 to 30 clients a week now. And it took me giving discounts. It took me giving away free massages. It took me going to events. It took me going to things like that wasn't even my clientele base that I do now, just so I could get my name out there, so
Right.
people could know who I am. But as he was saying, like, everybody wants to have their own business. Everybody wants to do their own thing until they realize how much work it takes. And I've come to that realization, taking it full time, is it's very hard, because balance is the hardest thing of having your own business and running your own business. And I've come to that realization, it's how many hours of sleep do I get? I don't know. Because I go home, I finish my day. I don't have a 9 to 5. I have a first client to my last client. Whether I have a big lunch break or something like that, cool. But I have a 9 a.m. and then I have a 9 p.m. And in between, I do whatever I need to do in between, you know. And so that's the hardest thing, is trying to figure out, okay, when do I have time for my training? When do I have time to eat? When do I have time to sleep? When do I have time to talk to my friends? You know, that's the hardest thing. And it's your first year, you have no life, plain and simple.
Right.
And that's kind of how it was me, and it's kind of how it is still. You really don't have any life, and you have the people around you that understand that, and they're there for support, and just kind of whenever. But yeah, so I definitely have to say, I don't really remember the question, but
we were just talking about how you made that leap of faith and self accountability and working for yourself.
Yeah, and so so back to the self accountability, man. It's just like, that's the hardest thing. You got to hold yourself accountable to make sure you have time for yourself, and that's one thing that takes quite a bit of effort to do, right, when you just want to go.
What are some things that you do for not necessarily for self accountability, but the umbrella of working for yourself? Like, do you sit down and take a day, like you schedule everything out, or do you kind of just go with the flow right now?
Right now, it's just going with the flow.
That's
I'm
fair.
still trying to find that happy medium. I'm trying to find, okay, do I take times where I'm not like always on my phone, you know, because usually I literally am always checking my phone. I'm trying to see who's trying to book, everything like that. So it's me trying to figure out the best ways. Like, do I set hours of the day to where I solely respond to everybody, or, you know, everything like that. Most every single night is all my scheduling. I go through all my messages, make sure I didn't miss anybody or anything like that. But right now I'm just trying to figure it all out. With it being, you know, how busy I've been getting the past 4 or 5 weeks. It's all a journey, trying to figure out what's best and what's the best way to do things, and trying to go from there.
For sure.
You guys have very similar work ethic, FYI. You guys are both like my super close friends, and I talk to both of you guys like every day. And you guys have such like a grinding like aspect of y'all just go. There's no slowing down. There's no, you know, looking around. It's just, you got your point, you're focused on it, and you guys just go, both of you guys. And it's crazy how much you guys are alike in that aspect of work.
For sure. I can't even schedule with her because I got so much going on right now. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's tough.
Talk
It's
about
hard.
your massages.
Like what are some things that you offer? Because you offer out of the box shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you offer stuff that I like, cupping and stretching at the same time, that I'm like, oh, that's what I need.
God.
So here's the biggest thing. I'm very different from just like a regular deep tissue massage
For
therapist.
sure.
And it's actually funny, this past week I just had a client, and he was telling me he had been going to the same massage therapist for a couple of years at this specific salon. I was like, man, you know how many clients I've taken from that salon? Like, they're gonna hate me.
Oh no.
And he was like, oh, I don't know, I've been with this client for quite a few years, or this therapist for quite a few years, I don't know. And so I was like, all right, like, bet, like, challenge accepted, let's see. And so like the biggest thing that's different about me from any other massage therapist is like kind of what he said. He'll go and he'll get a whole body, you know, all body work, you know, calf, legs, back, neck, literally head to toe. He gets worked on 60 minutes. My 60 minutes, I tell you to give me three, four spots that are giving you the most pains, you know, because if you're an athlete, if you're a lifter, a whole body massage, like, yeah, it's going to be good for you, but what truly is paining you, what's giving you these problems that's restricting you from making what you want to do and getting the lifts you want to do. So that's what my difference is I'm more specific. I want to make you feel better when you get off my table. I want to make differences. I want you to increase range of motion. I want to increase, you know, or decrease the pain, whatever. But I'm not going to touch on every single part. You know, if you don't tell me your calves hurt, I'm not going to work on your calves, because I'm going to solely focus on your low back when you have to deadlift 800 pounds the next day. So that's my biggest thing, and that's what I hope people start to they are starting to kind of realize about me is I'm not just going to be a deep tissue massage therapist. I'm a massage therapist that I'm going to make sure you're going to get better at what you want to do the next day. So most all my massages, that's why it's more considered sports massage. I pretty much add cupping into all of my massage because it's just so beneficial. With my bigger guys I work on, I do a lot of the active dynamic cupping, which is either moving or the stretches that I've done and posted on my page before, just because it helps with more of a release, increases that range of motion. So honestly, I do it all. I'd like to say I'm a good like therapeutic sports massage therapist. Like I flush the muscles, I do the muscle releases, I do the cupping. So it's all kind of compacted into one, which is why I only tell people to give me, 3 to 4 spots so I can just knock those boys out, and then, you feel better after that. And then you kind of keep going from there. Because once one part feels better, another part's going to start screaming anyways. So then we fix the top part, go to the bottom part.
You sound like a problem solver more than a massage therapist.
And that's the thing, is that there's so many different things that are wrong. Like say, your back hurts, right? But there's so many different causes that could be coming. Like, are your hamstrings tight? Are your quads tight? Your knees hurt when you squat. Your quads are probably tight. Your adductors are tight. Something like that there's a lot more to it than your back hurting, and that's where it's stemming from. So that's what I try and do. And especially being an athlete myself, a lifter myself, like, it's a lot easier for me to understand the pains that everybody goes through on a regular basis as well.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
How often do you recommend it to an athlete to get massages?
An athlete? So here's the hardest thing. When I tell people, I say if your life is able to, once a week is great. If it's somebody who's consistently training hard every single day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, whatever, once a week is great. But I know life, I know the busyness, so generally about once every 2 weeks is what I say is best and usually doable for almost everybody.
Yeah, no, that seems like a good frequency. What would be optimal? Like if you could, like every day, or would that be too much, or once a week?
Overkill. Yeah. I say once a week is definitely optimal. Because you get through your whole training week basically, and then we can figure out where do we go now? What's the next thing we got to work on? What hurt, what didn't hurt, what worked when we worked on you last time? Where do we go from there? Type thing. So
that's awesome though, because like that would be optimal if we could get one rest day and schedule one massage on that day. Like you said you were into like you led a stretching thing too as well. When you led that, is that some of the stretches you put people through when you're like offering these types of cupping and stretching type routines too, or do you have different stretching routines?
I really don't have a basic. I don't have a regular line. It's kind of whatever I feel, honestly. And then there's sometimes like with Husam, I do a lot of different things. Him and another client of mine, regular client of mine, they're like my practice dummies, I can pretty much do so many different things. I can work on different movements and really see like when I put the cups on, if it is it helping that area that we're really trying to release, or is it not? So that's why it's super beneficial too to have clients who train so hard and so heavy all the time that you can pretty much just, I hate to say it, but do whatever.
Right.
To be able to, and that's the biggest thing. I taught myself so much from working on those clients to figure out, okay, how am I gonna make you feel better type thing, and what am I gonna be able to do? What's something new I can do to try on bigger guys? It's definitely made me learn and watch and try and figure out different things to do.
What's like the most commonly tight muscle? Is it lower back or?
I'm honestly gonna say, I'd say one of the biggest problem areas that is people don't know about is the rhomboids.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So right when I go on to that, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what is that? Like, what is going on back there?" And it's because it's deep to the trap, right? So if you roll out, if you do what you're supposed to do, mobilize everything like that, you're not getting to it because it's so deep. Especially on you guys, bigger guys, it's a muscle, right? So like spine, scapula, it's right in between, right? And you just can't get to it regularly until you get an elbow into it, and you're just like, shh. What is going on back there?
Right.
And like, so honestly, if I had to choose most prominent area on every single person I have, it would be that area.
Now, what are some things when that's tight, right, that happens because of that tightness that some people might not understand is happening? Like, does the chest get tight? Do your shoulders round? Are you hunched more? Like, is there a reaction to that almost?
So honestly, like with a lot of my clients that I've kind of put 2 and 2 together, a lot of them have desk jobs as well. So, and it's always in their their dominant hand. So if you think about it, you're sitting at a desk, this arm's always out. So this muscle is always on, always being used to where you're constantly out on a mouse, and then you get back and you finally relax, and it's just on 10 basically. You're never able to really loosen that muscle up because you're constantly sitting at a desk just like this with your arm out. And but yeah, and if you're not at a desk, a lot of times you got those forward rounded shoulders. Once again, that whole upper back is tight, your whole chest band's tight because your shoulders are constantly sitting here too. But that's another hard thing, is because posture is hard. You know, even for me, my job, my career is constantly here. I'm constantly forward, and so even if I try, it hurts to sit correctly because of how tight I am. And I know it, but I just can't change anything.
It is what it is.
My IT bands will make me scream whenever I got those massaged.
My adductors.
Yeah.
I hate it when she does my
So you're not supposed to massage IT bands.
Ooh, calling it out because I've had it done a couple times. Yeah. But
so
why would that be? Yeah.
IT bands are fascia, right? So you can't remodel or massage fascia. All it does is cause more pain, right? So when you get your IT bands massaged, like, you're screaming. And I had actually a massage therapist do that to me, and I was like, like, we don't, don't do that. And she's like, yeah, it helps. And so we'll forget about that story. But it does not feel good. It causes more pain than doing anything. There's actually a journal in a physical therapy magazine that put like 2,000 pounds of pressure on an IT band. Didn't do anything to help it. Oh, wow. Because it's fascia. You can't roll out fascia, you can roll out muscle. So you roll out your quads, it's better. But with fascia, you got to do, like the cupping, you got to do the scraping, you got to do the stretching type stuff. The rolling out is just going to cause you more pain. Wow.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I just always thought they were tight as shit.
Oh, they probably are. Yeah. But you just got to do different things for it.
That makes sense.
So you got to release basically your hamstring and quads to release the pressure on your IT band.
More hips too.
Yeah, like that's where my hips are shit.
Mm-hmm. Which a lot of guys' hips are as well. Hips and adductors, and they don't realize it until I go into them, and then they're like,
"What was that?
Like, why? What are you doing?"
I know. I'm pretty sure I have weak glutes too. Because when I was a personal trainer, I would stand all day. Especially like, I'm not just gonna sit down and watch you work out. I'm next to you. We're doing it. So I realized that standing all day long, after I started training my glutes, my lower back started feeling better. So it was like my glutes were so overworked that my lower back was kicking in. And do you find a lot of that shit? I
find a lot of glute med weakness. A lot of it. Glute med and low back stabilizer muscle weakness, which causes a lot of SI joint problems. So that's a lot of, and I tell it to my guys all the time. They're like, well, what do I do? Go to a gym, look at a basic booty workout a girl's doing with a band, do those.
Do that.
And as much as I hate to say it, and I don't want to like be that person saying it, but it's true, because that glute med is what all these girls are working. They don't even know it, but that's what all the guys need to work. You guys train all these big compound muscles, but you don't ever train those small ones to strengthen everything around it, to hold everything together. So that's why there's more pains here and there, because those small stabilizer muscles are so weak compared to the big muscles you got going on. Yeah.
So it looks like I'm doing a booty day.
Yep. Basic booty workout. Literally go to the gym, see that girl in the mirror taking selfies.
I'm gonna be on the stairs with bands. I'm gonna be doing bicep curls with bands on now. I'm gonna be that guy.
You have to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need it.
Especially if it's gonna alleviate pain.
For sure. I mean, a lot of things that she makes me do now are just like, I hate them because like, it is what it is. But the pain, like the result you get, the reward from doing what she makes you do is so much easier. Like, I've never was able to deadlift weekly or squat weekly without having back pain, or like not being able to sit like this, or doing something and I'm like, man, my back hurts, So now it's like, I can go squat 600 pounds for reps, and then next 3 days later deadlift 800 pounds and be like, I'm good.
Good.
Like, no pain. And it's just like, in the beginning, I was like, this is never possible.
Right.
You know? And so she hit me up and she's like, hey, let me give you a massage.
I
And
had
I'm
to
like,
slide in those DMs.
Right.
yeah. I was one of the persons she offered a free massage to. And she got me as a client
Smart.
right away.
Yeah.
Right away. And I'm like, I've never had anybody massage me this good, literally. I'm not even bullshitting.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm like, listen, if you're good, I'm going to tell you. If you're bad, sorry, I'm an a-hole, and I'm going to tell you too, you know? Don't expect any, like, you know, me.
Right, yeah, you're not going to cushion it,
No,
yeah.
I'm going to be straight up. And after she massaged me, it was great, bro. The next day I had a deadlift PR 755, so.
Do you attribute a lot of the work that she does to your, like, seemingly every week new PR?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
I give most of the credit to her.
That's what's
I don't
up.
think I would have my peak strength and my peak athletic like power without her working on me and keeping my whole body like 100. I'm literally 100 every week, and I feel like that's gonna be one of the reasons like I break records and do what I do. You know what I mean? So
That's
I appreciate you. You're the best.
Well, thank you.
I love you.
Thank
I know he's
Thank
literally
you.
always talking about you, and it sucks that like I have so much on my plate right now because, of course, I could probably make time and stuff,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like
I
just
get it.
you know, it's hard as fuck for me right now, and I'm learning right. I've taken that leap as well, and one thing that I'm learning is time management as well. So.
So,
I just recently got a planner. Like I'm literally trying to stick to it, but the way with work, I'm normally on call every day.
Right.
So, you know, even today it was like I texted him yesterday, like we still on for 10, and he's like, "Yep, all right, cool, I
yeah,
got it."
That's
you
how
know
I
what
am too.
yeah.
I literally
I
confirm
bet.
with people. I don't even care if I'm like 15 minutes away. I'm confirming with you because if not, you're taking up my time that I have other stuff. My time where I could make more money too.
Right.
You know, and that's
Right.
the thing. I hate to say it that way, but that's what you got. That's how you got to think about
when you're
it.
in charge of yourself, you have to do that. Especially like you said, the first year, you have no life.
Right, literally.
I don't go out on the weekends. I don't do nothing. I work weekends.
Yep.
You know, and then during the week I have other shit to do. So I think that's cool. Especially we just interviewed B as well. That's two people now in a row that have taken that leap of faith and
Yeah.
trusted themselves. But you also had to hustle.
Right.
You had to give the free massage. You had to slide in the DMs, and it seems like people want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't have that work ethic.
Right.
And especially the self-accountability. Did you always have that? Or did it kind of just, here, I need it now, and tap into it?
I'd say I've always had that.
Cool.
I always knew I didn't want to work for anybody else. I knew that from the get-go. My parents kind of never could tell. You know, they always were big on finishing school, big on, you know, doing this, doing that, everything like that. Like I said, I was an athlete growing up, 3-sport athlete, high school, full ride scholarship in college for volleyball, coach out of that. And I just knew, like, I just wasn't that person. You're not going to tell me what to do on a daily basis. I hate micromanaging. I don't like it, you know? And so I've been working since I was 16, and it's just, I always knew I had to do what I had to do to get what I wanted, you know, or get to where I wanted. And same thing with how I do in like my lifting, everything like that. I'm gonna work hard at what I want to do. So it's always been kind of instilled in me. I'd have to say my dad definitely instilled that in me. And so I knew, what I say a lot is if you have a passion for something, if you truly love that thing, you're not gonna fail at it. And that's what I told myself. I had to keep telling myself that every single day. Like, I'm passionate about this. I love what I do. I love my clients that I work on. And so if that's the case, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to figure out a way to succeed, even if I'm not succeeding at this time. You know, and so, like I said, I gave out those free massages. I did everything I could to get the type of people that I knew could help promote myself. And that's one of the biggest things he's helped me with. You know, he posts me on his Instagram. Next thing you know, I get 20 new followers. Like, bro, like, who are you? How do you have all these people? He's like, I got you. And I was like, bro, that's what's up. Like, I appreciate you. And I appreciate the people that have referred me and that have helped me build my business, because if without my clients, I wouldn't be where I am, because I'm solely word of mouth, 100%. And that's how I get all of my clients, is all word of mouth, or seeing me on Instagram, or seeing another person posting me on Instagram. Like, that's what it is. I don't have to, I hate to sound cocky, but I don't have to promote myself anymore. You know, I have quite a few people who got me and I got them, and they promote me, and it's just a flow. You know, it just works.
Yeah,
So.
that's not even cocky. You deserve it.
Yeah.
If you've been putting in that work, you know, that's really what it is. You know, especially now, you get people shouting you out, and people want to act like social media isn't shit.
Oh, it's huge.
But
Oh
it's
my God.
fucking amazing.
It is ridiculous.
It's such a good
Yeah.
platform if you use it correctly,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you use it to dictate your day, then maybe not. But if you
Right.
use it as a tool and
Mhm.
help yourself, like, it's pretty incredible.
Social media, honestly, like, that's number one nowadays. Like, if,
Oh, yeah.
if you don't have a social media and you're trying to do something,
Right.
you might not have that following. You know, it's crazy, and I hate, like I said, I hate having to be on my phone all day. But my phone's my work. My
Right.
phone's how I get my people. Like, I gotta do that repost. I gotta talk to this person. I gotta respond to this person, because you never know who that person knows, or who else can come. Like, I got people coming from Lansing for me. I got someone coming from Grand Rapids for me. So it's just like, and it's from Instagram.
Right.
I would have never gotten to those people if it wasn't for Instagram. You know, I don't know people in Lansing. I don't know people in Grand Rapids like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you think you even would have taken that leap of faith if it wasn't for the free, like, you know, advertising platform? Like, would you have left your secure job had you not known that you could just blast yourself on Instagram, that you could slide in DMs? Because I don't think I would have.
I think I would have, but it would have taken a lot longer.
Yeah.
I think, it would have been like 3 to 4 years rather
That's awesome.
than
3 months.
rather than 10 months of doing it and then being done after that. So without social media, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I don't think so. And
Are you surprised with your success at the rate that you have gotten it?
Oh, I'm so surprised. And I'd hate to ever let anybody think that like, I don't ever want to be looked at as cocky, or like, oh, she thinks she's doing a lot. It's just her first year. Wait till year 2, or
Right.
something's gonna slow down. I'm a very, very humble person. I'm a very grateful person, and so I never want that to come off that way. And so my first year was literally life changing. I got out of a toxic friendship. I left an area I just hated. I had things going on in my life that weren't great. I moved to Detroit. I got my new office. I met new people, and it's like, it was a whole new life. Like, it was like a light had came, and I'm just like, wow, like, life can be good. It doesn't have to be bad all the time. I don't have to have negativity around me. And so in that first year, I am so surprised, because I went through so much before, and I was dealing with so much shit that I didn't know I could be good at what I could, because I had someone telling me I was always going to be bad, or I wasn't going to do what I wanted to do. I wasn't going to succeed. And so for me to be where I am now, it's just like, what happened? Like, how did I do this? Like, is something going to go wrong? It's always like one of those things, like, if you have like so much money saved up, or if you have something really good going, you're like, wait, what didn't I pay? Or what don't I have going on? Like, why do I have money like that? Just little things like that. And I'm just like, why are things great? It's almost like I never knew how to take being happy and enjoying what I was doing, because it was always so negative in the past with the circle I had around me. So the people I have around me, I think, really helped me in my business, in my personal growth, my business growth, my personal growth. And I give it all to the people I had around me. Am I surprised that I was able to meet such great people? Absolutely. And I think that's why I have gotten so busy, and I've grown so much in a year, was truly because the people that I surrounded myself with. And it's just like, so am I surprised? Absolutely. I never thought I would be where I'm at right now. Absolutely.
In what way do you think your circle, the people that you met now, have changed you?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question.
Yeah, we gotta get deep a little bit.
I know, I feel it. So the people I have around me, I'd say they're all hustlers. They're all grinders, man. Like, the people at my gym, I go to F3 Fitness, they're like my family. The people there, like, it's like you. I met you, I gave you that free massage. And after that, you're like, I got you, you got me type thing. And I was like, damn, like, that's weird. Like, is he actually really a good person? I don't know this guy. I gave him a free massage because he has a good following, something like that. Like, he's a lifter. I can see what can happen. And it's like, you never really I always was one of those people where you have a hidden agenda. There's something wrong. You're going to be bad to me. There's something that's going to happen. And so that was my biggest thing. So the people I have around me now is like, there's no hidden agendas, or not that I know of, at least, you know.
Right.
They've done everything to help me out, and it's just their energy that they've brought to to me, and the relationship I've built with so many people. It's just like, they just want to see you succeed. Like, they want to be good. They're good people. It's good energy around you at all times. Like, if you're negative, someone's gonna be like, why? For what? Like, no reason to be negative now. There's no time for that. So I'd say, like, that's the biggest thing with the people I have in my circle right now. It's very small. I don't do anything. Like, work is my life. But the people I have around me, they know that, like, I got them, they got me type thing. And it's just good energy at all times. So that's awesome. Why, yeah.
I think that is really important. And it's funny because I kind of got the same thing from him. When I met him, I started getting more motivated myself.
You're humbling me over here.
Well, I mean, it's crazy,
You're welcome.
you know. Yeah, it's like, you're right, you know. You sit there and you look and you're like, damn, everybody around me is a hustler. Everybody around me works for it, you know. And like, I'm the same way. I started cutting people out and making that circle tighter and tighter and tighter and more specific, you know, and not apologizing for it either.
Exactly.
You know, I'm sorry, but I'm not, because
I don't really care.
this is for me, man, and my well-being is more so over yours any day of the week at this point.
Right.
Especially I'm getting older. Like, I need a career too.
Yeah,
I need to
exactly.
make shit happen too. So.
And that's the hard thing too, is because people then will start, the ones that you cut off, you know, they'll be the ones who are like, hey, you want to go out? Hey, you want to do this? No, I got to be up early in the morning. I got shit to do. Or like, well, are you working today? Yeah. Or, you know, or if anything, like when I first started, if I got a phone call and someone was trying to have plans with me, I'd be like, sorry, I got a client. Like, if you're not okay with me canceling plans on you, then, you know, especially if it's for my business. Yeah. So it's like, the people I have in my circle now, they understand. Like, if I have to change something up, or if I can't do something, and it's because of work, like, they understand, and I understand right back to them, because the people, like you said, people around me all are generally doing their own thing too. They got their own grind, their own thing to do. Like, I get it. That's life. And I don't, so to go out and go to a bar, or go, you know, have a Saturday night life, like, I don't know what that is. Like, I work, or I'm at home, or I'm cooking, like something so stupid, like I'm 50 years old or something, or I'm in bed at 10 o'clock. But that's the thing, is if you're around people who are doing better than you, you're trucking, trying to get better just to where they're at, and then you just keep growing from there. Yeah.
That's dope. That's so dope, bro. Because it's funny, because my whole circle now is all about work. None of them text me like, let's go out, let's do this. It's more like, I gotta work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And I'm the youngest one out of all of you guys. Obviously, I'm the baby.
Yeah.
And
you
have to call me out like that.
She's a baby too, our baby, you know. But let's jump into, you train as well. So from aside all of this that you do, and all the juggling you do with massaging and all the clients, you still train.
Yes.
She's strong as shit, by the way.
I'm okay. I lost a little bit of strength. I am gonna lie to you. But yeah, I have been powerlifting now for a year and a half, 2 years almost. I enjoy being strong, to be honest with you. I've never been a girl that would just go into the gym and do basic booty workouts, you know. Like, I've been an athlete. I've had a bigger body, like a athletic build at all times, and I just knew I'd had to work from then since high school. And so when I first got into powerlifting, I was like, oh, hell, like, I would see girls like lifting crazy weight, and I'm like, well, I want to be like that girl. Like, I'm one of those girls like looking like, shit, how does she do that? And so I was at Powerhouse Novi, my first coach. He saw me in the gym. He was like, hey, you want to do a powerlifting workout? I was like, oh, you're just one of those trainers here. Just want to put me through a workout. Like, bro, I've done this. I've done bodybuilding prep before. I've boxed. I've done a lot of different things. I'm like, all right, like, if you can put me through a different workout from what I know, I got you. And it kind of just went from there. And I like I said, I love being strong, and it's just, it's fun to be a strong woman, because a lot of times people, you're in the gym, people think you're just, you know, a girl taking pictures of yourself and taking pictures of your ass, and that's not me. Like, I'm gonna go throw some weight around real quick. I'll maybe take a picture of my squat and that's about it type thing. But yeah, so that's the only hard thing is with how busy I am, my training's kind of put on the back burner. I train when I can. I do quick workouts. I get in when I can. But I don't have, as of right now, I don't have any meets in mind. I've kind of dabbled into maybe going to Olympic lifting, so we'll see if that does anything.
Have you done any meets in the past?
Powerlifting?
Yeah.
Yep, I've done 2. So I did one, my very first one was 2019. I just competed in beginning of February this past year. I qualified for nationals, and I had all intentions on going, but quarantine happened and kind of threw some things off.
What were your lifts?
So I had got a new PR deadlift of 319, bench was 164, and squat was 298.
Nice.
It was okay.
Those are big numbers. Man.
It was pretty mediocre.
Those are right around my numbers.
Yeah, she's strong.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. I was upset with it. I got called for depth on my squat. I would have hit 308.
Oh.
I was so mad.
And she looked really scary when she was mad.
I have an
snap.
RBF.
Okay.
Very bad. I've been told many times, but I mean, whatever.
It is what it is.
You said you were a 3-sport athlete growing up. What were the sports?
So I played basketball, volleyball, and soccer.
Okay.
Played soccer since I was 3. That was like my go-to. I was like, I'm gonna go to North Carolina like Mia Hamm and be a soccer player. That was like the goal. But then coaches ruin things a lot. I had a bad coach in high school, and then it just kind of deterred me away from that. And I started focusing more with volleyball, and then I was full ride for a junior college back home for 2 years for volleyball, and kind of just kept going from there.
So you just always been competitive.
Always.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a brother and a sister. We all were athletes. All played soccer. My dad was my coach, and I think that's where it all came from. My dad, like, if I was not first even if I was first in a sprint, I would still get my ass chewed out, man. Like, nothing was good enough. But that's, it's what made me now. Me and him did not get along when we were younger, but now, like, the relationship is great because he truly built how I am and how my work ethic and how hard I work and how I know, like, I don't settle. There's always going to be something better that I can get to, and that's why I always keep working. Like, you can't just I'm not okay with how I am right now. I still got to get even better, type thing. That's
awesome. That continuing, want to be better. That I think a lot of people overlook that you have to have that,
Right.
and there's nothing wrong with not having that. But we're pressured now through social media and stuff like, oh, why am I not owning my own business and stuff? And there's nothing wrong with just being an employee or being a good employee for somebody else. Like, it's perfectly good way to live.
Yep.
And I think some people get lost and pressured into thinking they're supposed to be something. And then they lose themselves and they go in debt trying to start something. Or
trying to start something that they're really not that passionate about.
Right,
True.
and then they fail and then they get down on themselves. And it's like, man, well, now you know that might not be your path. So choose another path. And, it's incredible that soccer, you wanted to be the soccer player and a coach fucked it up for you. You're like, all right, fuck it, let's go. What's the next thing?
Right.
And I find that attitude with a lot of successful people I know is like, okay, this avenue closes. Okay, what's the next one? Rather than focus on this one closing. All right, time to move on.
Right.
I think that's a big thing that a lot of people don't really focus on.
Or you see one close and you're like, well, I failed. What do I do? I can't do anything now. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, no, you got to figure out. You better figure out a way to succeed, man. Like,
Right.
there's
For sure.
no one's gonna do it for you.
No other option.
Do you think you'll ever be satisfied?
No.
What's your next, like, now you're building your clientele, right? And you're building your business. What's your next move when you get to that point of, okay, I have the clientele, I have the business space. What's your move from there?
I won't be satisfied till people know who I am. I want to be that person where, like, oh, I know Rachel. I know M3Therapy. I know this person. Like, so that was my small term goal when I first started in Detroit. I was like, I want Detroit gyms to know who I am. I want at least one person in each gym, all Metro Detroit gyms, someone's gonna know me. And I want to be to where, like, oh, you need a good therapist, go to her. long-term goal, I want to be a massage therapist for a pro team or pro athlete, and I want to build it from there. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know what my next step is. A lot of people have been telling me with the way my clientele is growing is potentially bringing on another therapist, somebody that like works for me but doesn't work for me, you know. So almost like I'll get paid when I'm not getting paid type thing. But at the same time, as I'm so I don't even know what word to put into it. I don't want anybody to ever ruin my name.
Right.
I don't want one person to not like the therapist I bring on, and then next thing you know, that ruins a whole clientele base for me. So that's my hardest thing. Is I'm leaning towards, for that being my next step, is bringing on a therapist, but they got to be like A1, like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I know what my hustle was, and if they don't either match or surpass my hustle, and that's hard. That's gonna be very hard for anybody even to get to where I got in a year. I don't know. So my next step, I'm not sure. I just know I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep getting the people that I want to get. I'm gonna keep sliding in the DMs if I have to. There's this Lions prospect that's kind of messaged back and forth, so I'm hopefully going for that one. So we're gonna see about that.
Hell yeah.
But so as for my next step, I'm just going, kind of go from there. If I ever run into a therapist who I believe has potential to work with me, I would. But I'm very particular. It's gonna take a lot for a massage therapist to be able to work under me, and for me to want them to work under me.
Would you offer training to train other massage therapists in the things that you do? Have you ever thought of that?
So that's actually what the lady I rent a room from in my Plymouth office, that's kind of what she did. She showed me what she did on some of her athletes. She let me to sit in on a couple of her sessions, and because she's a overhead specialist, she works with a lot of pitchers, like MLB, everything like that. So I got to learn so many different things with like overhead specialty, which isn't my specialty. So I would absolutely be willing to teach people, show them, because then you can just combine everything. You can combine so many different ways. I learned something from Becky, I learned something from Corinne, I learned something from YouTube or these other people I follow on Instagram, all these other sports massage therapists I follow on Instagram. That's how my practice is so different than everybody else's practice, because it's unique. I do so many different things.
Well, so you said overhead specialty, right? So are you talking about arms over the head?
Yeah, so she's a pitcher.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So is there? See, now we're getting into the avenues of massage therapy.
Yeah.
So are there specific things like that? Is there back specialists too?
Probably.
Okay, yeah.
There is a specific specialist she went to, I believe in Florida, I think, and he works with pro pitchers, for working on body mechanics, that to increase your speed or whatever. So she went to this overhead specialist, CEU, a continuing education, to learn the best ways to work with pitchers, to work with baseball players. I was intrigued by it, but I don't like baseball enough. I'm not going to lie to you. So I wouldn't take my time out to do it. Right. But it's nice to learn the different types of releases she got from that, so I can even put it into some of my lifters or any other athlete I work on that has some type of overhead movement.
Yeah, because I'm very ignorant to this. To me, I've had my IT bands massage. You know what I mean? I'm very ignorant to this. So to find out that there's overhead specialists, that's incredible. Yeah.
And that's the thing, is when I was in school, they told me that the hardest people to get on your table would be men, because there's that stigma of what massage is, stigma of what massage is, for males, and so when I'd say honestly, my clientele is male dominant, and it's because I've set the tone, I've set this is what's going to happen. This is your massage, and this is the type of work I do. And because of that, the athletes like it, So that was when they told me that was going to be the hardest thing, I'm like, man, this is easy. I got all these guys coming to me, and you know, it's because that's the realm I'm in too. So yeah.
On that point, to wrap it up, because she does have clients to get to, and
For
we don't
sure.
want to keep her too long.
For sure.
Give us a quick advice you give to people who are trying to start a small business and grow from there.
Quick advice. I'd say my biggest thing is be okay with not having a life your first year. Even in school, I didn't have a life because of how intense school was, and I was full-time working too and training for my first meet. And into my second, my first year fully in my own business is be okay and get rid of the people that are in your way. That's the biggest thing is you can't let people hold you back. If you got a mindset, once again, like I go back to it, if you're passionate about it, if you love it, go for it. Like don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not gonna make it, because if you want to, you can do it. You're gonna get to where you want to get to.
Cool, perfect.
Yeah,
What's
that's awesome.
your Instagram? Hit us with Instagram.
M3Therapy _Detroit.
And they
Hit
can
me up
all
on
DM you.
Instagram. DM me, man.
Blow up the DMs, baby.
Slide in the DMs. I may take a little bit to respond, but slide in the DMs. Get you on my table. Let's get you feeling good. I got you.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
you're the best. We
Thank
love
you
you.
so much
Thank you
for
for
sitting
coming
down
here.
with
Thank you, guys.
Clarky's
Awesome.
about to enjoy a quick cupping session.
Hell yeah.
We're about to be out. Deuces, subscribe, like,
Peace.
share, love.
Thank you.
Bye.